Welcome, dreamer. Let your thoughts drift away. Let the noise of the day soften into stillness. Before we begin, please put your phone away. There's nothing to watch here, not in the way your eyes expect. This story isn't for your eyes. It's for your breath, your drifting thoughts. Let them slow. Let the room soften. You don't need to focus here, because tonight I'll bring you to a magical island. Tonight we rise, not in noise, not in speed, but in stillness. Above the clouds, past the surface of worry, there floats a place that doesn't try to be seen. It only needs to be felt. Close your eyes. Let your body settle. And I'll meet you on the floating island of mysteries. They say it can only be found when you're not looking, that it doesn't exist on any map, not even the ones etched into the minds of those who dream. But tonight, as silence thickens like fog around your thoughts, you feel something shift just behind your breath. You don't know how you arrived, only that you are here, floating. The ground beneath you hums gently, not like a machine, but like something alive and listening. There is mist, not white silver, but deep as mirrors. You move through it like someone half remembered by the world. Ahead, an archway carved of an unknown path. It bears no symbols, yet you know it's waiting for you. You follow the path, and everything changes. The lantern-lit path curves unexpectedly and leads downward beneath the earth, where tree roots hang from the ceiling like ancient chandeliers. Here the path narrows, carved into earth and stone, lined with moss that pulses softly beneath your feet. You hear faint sounds in the distance, like voices speaking just beyond comprehension. Every now and then, the sounds shimmer around you. You stop and listen carefully. Suddenly, a face appears in the clouds, if your own, but different, not older or younger, just altered, as if reflecting who you might have become had a single decision been made differently. The vision fades. The path breathes again, and you keep going. At the end of the path, a staircase spirals upward, carved entirely from tree roots. When you ascend, your footsteps echo with wet, living sound. The staircase ends at an opening in a hill, and daylight floods your eyes. You've emerged into something new. The forest that listens. The forest here is dense and still, but not heavy. It breathes in long pauses. The ferns are enormous, taller than you, and soft as feathered moss. They curve toward you as you walk, as if curious. Something rustles. You stop. There is a silence. Then movement again. An animal stands at the edge of the clearing. It looks like a deer, but it has no eyes. Just smooth skin where its face should be. It tilts its head, listening. You step closer. It does not run. You reach out a hand. The animal steps backward, slowly, then turns and walks into the ferns, vanishing. In its place, on the ground, a single white feather, spiraled like a seashell. You pick it up. There's a sound, somewhere far away. A deep tone, like a bell rung underwater. And then the forest shifts. You walk again, and the forest opens. A long, narrow tunnel of stone hovers high above the island, curving gently into the horizon. There are no railings, only the soft wind and the far-off glimmer of water below. Each step you take sounds like nothing. The wind doesn't whistle here. It hums low, like it's listening. Halfway across the floating tunnel, the stones change color, glowing faintly with pale blue light. Shapes appear in the air around you, outlines of animals, faces, hands, drifting like ash in sunlight. They do not speak. They simply exist. You reach out to one. It passes through you like cool breath. And for a moment, you are somewhere else entirely. On a boat, in the rain, someone's asleep beside you. And then, gone. You blink. You're still in the tunnel. At the end of the tunnel, a shallow lake, clear as glass. You kneel at its edge. No fish, no movement. But when you look in, you don't see yourself. You see someone watching you. Not with eyes, with understanding. You dip your fingers into the pool. It ripples, and so does the world around it. Above, the sky rearranges. The sun bends sideways. Time pulses. You look again. This time, the reflection smiles, and it's yours. As you rise, a path of lilies opens from the pool. It leads to a simple gate made of woven vines and silver. It's not locked. You step through. The air shifts, and you realize the island isn't changing. You are, and it has always been waiting, just behind your breath, just above the clouds, forever. The path after the gate descends. Stone gives way to polished shale, and soon you're surrounded by walls that glisten like damp velvet. The ceiling of the tunnel opens into wide ribbons of rock that twist and shimmer with iridescence, as though the entire cave is slowly breathing. You run your hand along the surface, smooth, cold, and faintly pulsing. The further you go, the warmer it gets. Light dances across the cave's folds from no source you can see. There's movement, not your own. You stop. The sound is like silk brushing over gravel, soft, wrong. Then something passes above you, long, thin, almost translucent, like a winged eel suspended in air. It doesn't acknowledge you, just drifts silently into a crevice. You keep walking. The air smells like metal and moss. Eventually, the passage opens into a dome filled with slow-moving mist. You cross it without speaking. And on the other side, light. The field of lanterns. You emerge into an open plain dotted with lanterns. Thousands of them, floating just above the grass, swaying gently with the unseen breeze. They flicker in different colors, not random, but reactive. As you walk, some glow brighter, some dim. One bursts into a soft pulse of violet as you pass. You hold your breath. It responds. The field is quiet except for the you, a low collective vibration that seems to align with your heartbeat the longer you stay. Far across the field, you see a single tall lantern, unlike the others. Its flame is still waiting. You make your way toward it, weaving through the glowing sentinels. When you arrive, it does nothing, until you place your hand below it. Then It ignites, not in fire, but in memory. A warm kitchen, rain against windows, hands reaching, letting go. It fades, and the lantern rises. You watch it disappear into the dark sky above. Past the lanterns, dunes rise, pale, smooth, and windless. You climb them slowly, feet sinking just slightly. At the top of the tallest dune, the world opens again to an inlet of still water. The shore is covered in shells, but these are not normal shells. They are enormous, some large enough to sit inside, some open like book covers, some emit sounds, soft whistling notes that seem to harmonize with each other. You step toward one. It glows faintly. You touch its edge, and it opens fully, revealing a hollow chamber lined with velvet blue light. You sit inside it. Inside, you hear something else. Not music, not memory. A language you don't speak, but somehow understand. It speaks not to your thoughts, but to your pace, to your restlessness. The shell hums. You close your eyes, and for a moment, everything is still. Then the shell starts moving. A hidden trail opens, leading you to a circular lake surrounded by stone pillars. The water reflects stars, even under a clouded sky. You kneel. The lake whispers. You dip your hand into it. The reflection shatters. A house, a train station, a hand letting go. You just breathe, and the lake answers with silence. You see near the lake a big hilltop, but not a regular hilltop. It's shaped from hourglasses of every shape and size stretch. Each one flows differently. Each one stirs something in you. You pause by a cracked glass. The sand glows like embers. It stops and starts again. When you leave, your shadow walks the wrong way. Your shadow is bringing you to a different place. You follow. Arrived at the destination, a dome of clear air holds impossible creatures. Transparent, floating, alive. No walls, no cages, just suspended stillness. The creatures hovering, as if stitched to light itself. The air shifts, cooler, sweeter, like you've entered a memory preserved in frost. Some of the animals look like wolves made of mist. Others resemble giant jellyfish, their tendrils made of light and dust. None of them approach, but all of them watch. You are seen, not observed, but felt. And for a moment, you are something other, something remembering itself. You exit without words. Your skin tingles like wind touched it from the inside. You discover it tucked behind a curtain of moss, a stairs descending into black stone. The steps spiral endlessly downward, carved from slate so smooth they catch your shadow as you move. There is no sound from your feet, only breath, and something else. Echoes. But they do not follow your words. They come before them. Whispers rising out of the dark in your voice, saying things you haven't said. Not yet. You descend farther. The air thickens with memory. Not yours, but familiar. Every so often, a mirror appears on the wall, not to show your reflection, but your intention. You pass one, and it shows you standing still. The stairwell begins to bend in ways that make no sense. Upward becomes inward. Light flickers from beneath, green and blue like bioluminescent veins in the dark. You pause, and in that moment, the voices stop. All of them, and for the first time, the staircase feels awake. Watching, you descend no further. The stone opens sideways, and a hidden path leads out into wind. You do not speak. The staircase has already heard too much. It waits beyond a veil of hanging silver vines, a garden so still, even the wind forgets to breathe. The ground is covered in flat, worn stones, each one engraved with names. Names you do not recognize, but that stirs something in your chest. You walk the path slowly, and the air hums, low and warm. Some names shimmer and disappear as you pass. Others brighten. Near the center of the garden, a tree, unlike the others, rises. Its bark is pale. Its leaves are thin sheets of glass. They chime softly in the quiet, not as music, but as memory. A breeze stirs. The glass leaves ring, and one of the stones pulses with light. You kneel to read it and see your own name there. Not your spoken name, not even the one you remember, but the one that knows you, the one this island has always whispered when you aren't listening. You place your hand on the stone, and it vanishes, not erased, returned. You walk further, but on this walk you need to climb more. It's getting harder now. You climb a narrow path of broken slate. The wind quiets as you approach a round structure, a dome made of something between glass and breath. Inside, the walls stretch upward and vanish into shadow. At first, you think you're looking at stars, but then they move. Galaxies swirl in slow spirals. Moons drift past. A planet flickers as if it remembers you. At the center of the room, a single chair made of brass and velvet. It faces nothing. You sit, and the dome begins to rotate. But what it shows is not the sky. It is time. A window you once looked through. A hand brushing yours, years ago. Laughter. A scent you forgot but know instantly. Rain falling while someone waited too long. You watch, not as a memory, but as a moment living somewhere just beyond reach. The observatory doesn't show the future. It shows what always was, in corners you forgot to keep lit. When you rise, the door is gone, but the dome unfolds like a paper flower. You descend into darkness, not absence of light, but a light that has forgotten how to speak. The ground changes beneath your feet. It becomes black sand, cool, dry, soft. Something hums. Rising from the sand are bones, long, tall, glistening with faint bioluminescence. They are shaped like ribs, like flutes, like spires, all fossil and crystal and breath. Then they begin to sing. Not a melody, not a song, but a vibration that lives in your ribs, a sound older than language. You walk among them. Each one tones differently as you pass. Some call, some warn, some simply weep. One pulse is louder. It glows. You place your palm upon it. It stills, and a breath escapes your lips you didn't know you were holding. You continue through the singing, and the bones keep humming to themselves. A long hallway appears. Stone floor, arched ceiling, and every inch of wall space covered in clocks. Not ticking, not to start. Some are old and wooden. Some are shattered glass. One drips sand into a bowl that never fills. You step in, and all at once they begin to chime, not loudly, but all together, in perfect chaos, like a symphony of forgotten time. With each footstep, another clock awakens. You feel it, every grief you never named, every change that slid past you, every birthday no one mentioned, every hug that came too late. Your breath catches, and the clocks grow louder. Then they stop, all at once. One clock remains ticking, the smallest one, a pendant-sized timepiece set into the stone. Inside its open face is not a second hand, but a drop of water, still, suspended. You stare at it, and it reflects your eyes, not your face, just the truth that lives behind it. Then it stops ticking. You stand and move on. You return to a grove of tall trees, their trunks pale, smooth, and twisted into gentle spirals. The light here moves slower than it should. Behind you, a sound, soft and careful. You hear footsteps. You turn quickly. There's nothing there, only stillness. You walk again. The footsteps resume. You stop suddenly. So does the sound. You crouch, listening. Then, from the edge of your vision, a shape, low, four-legged, long ears, a body shaped like a fox but thinner, stretched by distance or time. Its eyes are not eyes, just smooth, unbroken skin. Yet it sees you. You freeze. So does it. You raise your hand. It shifts, not closer, not farther, just present. You take a step. It fades into shadow. You move on. But the feeling remains. It's not following you out of fear. It's accompanying you out of memory. At the edge of a cliff, a bridge stretches across nothing. Dust swirls over its surface. The handrails are gone. It hums with forgotten weight. You step onto it. The dust reacts, curling into shapes with every footfall. A child's toy, a wilted flower, a closed door. They vanish behind you. Halfway across, you stop. The wind shifts. But there is no wind. The air carries scent instead. Ash, warm stone, and someone's sweater. You pause at a carved alcove in the middle of the bridge, just large enough for one person. You feel the warmth inside. And remember, for just a breath, that the warmth is holding you wherever you go. The bridge flattens into a plateau of polished stone. Scattered across it, round pools of water. But here, the rain rises. Droplets lift upward, pulled from the pools into the sky. They shimmer like sparks drifting from a fire in reverse. You step into one. The surface does not break. It accepts you like sleep. Your reflection splits into fragments. Each one smiles a different way. Some wear tears. One looks directly at you and breathes. The water grows warmer. Above, the rising rain becomes stars. They pulse slowly, mapping the sky with the shape of your own heartbeat. You lie back and drift away. For a moment, the whole island holds still. Time exhales, and the rain is gone. Not ended, just satisfied. You begin to rise again, not with effort, but as if the island itself is lifting you. Stone gives way to soil, then to silk-soft moss. Each step is quieter than the last. You pass under trees that do not grow. They hover, roots unanchored, leaves suspended in spirals. Somewhere above, stars move, not randomly, not in constellations. They curve in slow rhythms, like they are listening for your pace. At the top of the path, you reach a circle of pillars, each one carved from something not quite stone, not quite glass, each one warm to the touch. They hold no roof, only sky. And at the center, silence. You step in, and everything around you exhales. You descend slowly through golden mist. The path narrows into a tunnel of hanging vines and whispering leaves. It opens suddenly to a beach. The sand is pale and smooth, cradling a sea that doesn't move. Not waves, not tide, just breath. The water isn't black, it's deep, layered with soft colors that don't have names. You walk barefoot. The sand is warm. Then you notice footprints beside yours, not your own. Some small, some wide, bare feet, booted feet, padded paws. You don't see anyone, but someone, many someones, have walked this shore. They knew it too. Far ahead, something glimmers, half buried, a smooth shell. You reach down, your name is carved into it. Not the name others use, not the one on your documents, the one only your dreams remember, the one that's been waiting. You hold it. The sea is coming closer towards you. You don't even have to think and gives the shell back to where it belongs. You give it back to the sea. The sea takes it without splash. It simply folds into the water and disappears. You feel lighter. You smile. You leave no mark behind, only the feeling of having been seen. You walk back along a path that never repeats. The forest doesn't close in. It opens with each step. The arch waits ahead. Not like before. Now it glows softly from within. A quiet hum, not beckoning, not ending, just there. You stand before it, and then you remember there is no leaving, no goodbye, no exit. The island is not a place. It is a way of listening, a rhythm you now carry inside. You take one final step through the arch, and the world outside does not resume. It softens, because you do not return the same. You didn't need to ask anything. You didn't need to solve anything. You didn't even need to understand. You simply arrived. You listened. You remembered how to breathe. And now you rest. Only this moment, only this stillness, only this breath is what belongs to you. Let the stars keep drifting. Let the clouds curl gently. Let your thoughts become quieter than silence. And if the world becomes too loud again, you know where to go. The floating island of mysteries will always be there for you. Just above the clouds, just behind your breath, waiting, waiting for nothing, and offering everything. Good night, dreamer. Sleep deeply. Float freely. We'll meet again, somewhere in the quiet.